everyone, this is Billy Root from 58magazine.com, a platform of content to empower your life. And these films are about the second attention, the power to see the unseen, energy. In order to change the world on the outside, we must change it on the inside. For our consciousness and energy creates your reality, your life, your purpose, and your destiny. And thank you for watching this video about the holographic universe. When subatomic particles such as electrons or photons are in contact, they remain forever influenced by each other, instantaneously and for no apparent reason, over any time or over any distance. When particles are entangled, the actions of one will always influence the other in the same or opposite direction, no matter how far they are separated. Like in Romeo and Juliet, a pair of star-crossed lovers who are forced to separate and live independently forever, but who continue not only to know each other's moves, but also to imitate the other's every activity for the rest of their days. Bohm discovered that matter could no longer be considered separate and individual, but must be viewed as fundamentally interconnected. He believes the reason subatomic particles are able to remain in contact with one another regardless of the distance separating them is not because they are sending some sort of mysterious signal back and forth, but because their separateness is an illusion. Particles are not individual entities, but are actually extensions of the same fundamental something. Bohm believes that the world was enfolded in an implicate state, and he used his model as a hologram. So what is a hologram? A hologram is like a quantum filing cabinet in which information is enfolded, stored, and in quantum waves. In a classic laser hologram, a laser beam is split. One portion is reflected off an object, say an apple, and the other is reflected by several mirrors. They are then reunited and captured on a piece of photographic film. The result on the plate, representing the interference pattern of these waves, resembles a strange set of concentric circles. When you shine a light beam from the same kind of laser through the film, what you see is a fully realized three-dimensional virtual image of the apple, just like in Star Wars with Princess Leia and R2-D2. Bohm considered the universe a giant information headquarters of unbroken wholeness, in which everything in the universe is already present in some invisible domain beyond time and space, a field of all possibility, there to be called forth and made explicate or manifest when necessary. He believed that the brain uses quantum waves like a hologram to store vast quantities of information. Our brain reads this information and from this create the three-dimensional world, much as the image of Princess Leia when an original laser is shown on a photographic plate. It must be seen as a sort of cosmic storehouse of all that is, from Michael Talbot in the book The Holographic Universe. Despite its apparent solidity, the universe is at heart a phantasm, a gigantic and splendidly detailed hologram.
Pretty cool, right? If you're seeing this, then the curious little girl who used to sneak into my workshop has grown.
And a new scientific story is emerging, offering evidence that all matter exists in a vast web of connection. And the most important aspect of life is no longer the thing, but the relationship between things. And the main architect of this idea of the universe being a gigantic hologram of illusion are two of the world's most eminent thinkers, David Bohm, a protege of Einstein's and one of the world's most respected quantum physicists, and Karl Pribram, a neurophysiologist at Stanford University. This holographic theory makes sense a wide range of phenomena such as telepathy, precognition, mystical feelings of oneness with the universe, and even psychokinesis, or the ability of the mind to move physical objects without anyone touching them. But the majority of people are addicted to their belief systems. This is why when we try to change someone's belief, they act like an addict. They are addicted to the emotion of their comfort zone. So the more we can open our mind to such discoveries, the more our life and reality can be changed into an unlimited state of being, love, and a joyous life. If you penetrate through and look at the universe with the holographic system, you arrive at a different view, a different reality. And that other reality can explain things that have remained inexplicable scientifically, paranormal phenomena, synchronicities, and the apparent meaningful coincidence of events. In the 1940s, Pribram first started out questioning memory and where it is stored in the brain. These traces of memories were called engrams, which were either a neuron or perhaps a special kind of molecule, but they believed that memory had a very specific location in the brain. But in the 1920s, a Canadian neurosurgeon discovered that the brain actually doesn't sense pain directly. As long as the scalp and skull have been deadened with a local anesthetic, surgery can be performed on the brain of a fully conscious person without causing any pain.
So his brains, doctor?
No, that's just dried blood. Those are his brains.
And in the 1940s, a neuropsychologist, Karl discovered that no matter what portion of a rat's brain he cut out, he could not eradicate their memories. This causes Pribram to realize that memories were not localized at specific brain sites, but were somehow spread out or distributed throughout the brain as a whole. Then, in the mid-1960s, Pribram was introduced to the concept of holography and holograms. Interference is the crisscrossing pattern that occurs when two or more waves, such as waves of water, ripple through each other. Like dropping a pebble into a pond, it will produce a series of concentric waves that expand outward. If you drop two pebbles into a pond, you will get two sets of waves that expand and pass through one another. This complex arrangement of crests and troughs that result from collisions is known as an interference pattern. This wave-like phenomena can create an interference pattern, including light and radio waves. Laser light is an extremely pure, coherent form of light. It is especially good at creating interference patterns. It is the perfect pebble in pond. A hologram is produced when a single laser light is split into two separate beams. The first beam is bounced off the object to be photographed. Then the second beam is allowed to collide with the reflected light of the first. When this happens, they create an interference pattern, which is then recorded on a piece of film. To the naked eye, the image on the film looks nothing at all like the object photographed. It looks like concentric rings that form when a handful of pebbles are tossed into a pond. But as soon as another laser beam is shined through the film, a three-dimensional image of the original object reappears. You can walk around a holographic projection and view it from different angles as you would a real object. But if you reach out and try to touch it, your hand will go right through it, and you will discover that there is really nothing there. A piece of holographic film contains an encoded message. To the naked eye, the image on the film looks nothing like the object photographed and is composed of irregular ripples known as interference patterns. But when the film is illuminated with another laser, a three-dimensional image of the original object reappears. Unlike normal photographs, every small fragment of a piece of holographic film contains all the information recorded in the whole. This offers a way of understanding how memories could be distributed rather than localized in the brain. Like the holographic film, every part of the film or brain can contain all the information necessary to recall a whole memory or a whole image. If a holographic plate is broken into fragments, each piece can still be used to reconstruct the entire image. Remember, a hologram is a virtual image. It appears to be where it is not, and possesses no more extension in space than does the three-dimensional image you see of yourself when you look in a mirror. Like the image we see on the silvering mirror's back surface, the actual location of the hologram is always in the photographic emulsion on the surface of the film recording it. And thank you for watching this video about the holographic universe. And please don't forget to subscribe and check out my Art of Dreaming workshop on 58magazine.com, a platform with content to empower your life.